What's up, guys? This is Hatsman, and I'm coming to you with a brand new deck profile today. And today we are doing Chronomaly Dinomist. And I've decided to go in this direction for at least a little bit with Dinomist because I want to get out Cyber Dragon Infinity just a little bit more consistently. The deck can really benefit off of Chronomaly Golden Jet, and the fact that it's a light monster as well, so it makes getting cards like Pleiades out a little bit easier. As well as the rank 5s, which I think are pretty important. And there's also a lot of new water support that came out recently that's actually very beneficial to the deck. So let's get into the deck profile. I'm playing 2 Dinomist Rex. Opening up with like 2 or more of these can be kind of good and kind of bad because you use one for scale and whatnot, but I'd much rather see some other cards like Disc or any other scale sometimes, because he can't summon himself. Like at least Ceratops and Brachion can. Rex can't do that, so that's the unfortunate part about Rex. 3 Ceratops, he can special summon himself if you can control a Dinomist monster, that's cool. 3 Brachion, he special summon himself if your opponent has the monster on the highest attack and you don't control a Brachion already. 3 Dinomist Terran, he's an okay searcher. He's not like terribly great, but he's okay. He's just, if he destroys a monster by battle, you can add 1 Dinomist card from your deck to your hand. 3 Dinomist Plesio's, probably my favorite card in the deck, and quite honestly, I feel like Plesio's is really directing where the deck is going at the moment. A lot of the support, well, if you can call it support, a lot of the cards that are in the deck have to deal with lowering your opponent's attack points, and especially in the extra deck, and Plesio's really does that well. If you don't know what Plesio's does, monster your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Dinomist card you control. If you Pendulum Summon him, you have a minimum of 3 Dinomist cards on the field. So you're already lowering it by a 300 attack just by that. So Plesio's is definitely, I feel like, even better now that we have more cards that can be very beneficial to the deck. 2 Stegosaur, he's undoubtedly the worst Dinomist. He's going to be taken out as soon as that new card is brought to us from the OCG, which is like Ecclesios or something, where you get whenever a Dinomist monster, not including itself, destroys a monster by battle, you get to banish that monster rather than send it to the graveyard. Stegosaur is just you destroy anything that a Dinomist attacks, so which can be useful, but it's not good. It has to apply to another Dinomist, so he's not a standalone card either. But moving on, 2 Disc. I'm only playing 2 of this because you have to normal summon him. If he got its effect off of being normal or special summoned, he'd be a lot better. And I would definitely be playing him at 3 and Disc at 2 or something like that. But the fact that he can only be at he can only be normal summoned to get its effect, like that's the main reason why. So and then I can easily pendulum summon Chronomaly Golden Jet, which I'm playing 3 of. Golden Jet's really cool because he can be level 4 or level 5. Once per turn, you can increase the levels of all Chronomaly monsters you can currently control by 1. So that's pretty cool. Also, if for some odd reason that you get like all 3 of them out, you can do this. I don't necessarily recommend it because it's a waste of resources, but Chronomaly Golden Jet, you can raise all of their levels twice because it's not like you can only activate 1 Chronomaly Golden Jet's effect per turn. You can only activate that 1 card's effect per turn. So if I, for example, Pendulum Summon all 3 of these, I activate 2 of their effects to raise them to level 6, and then I use them all to go into Cyber Dragon Infinity. So that is possible. But that is neither here nor there, and more than likely you're always going to go through Nova just because it's a lot easier, a lot more consistent. 1 Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. Luster Pendulum's really cool because he's like, obviously he's really cool because he's one of the best Pendulum cards ever. He gets into Ignister, he goes into Dinoster, he can be used by Magister, so it's just, Luster's just amazing. 3 Dinomist Charge, 3 MST. I don't want to discard cards necessarily. I don't even want to discard Disc because that prevents me from activating other effects. So it's just, that's why I'm not playing Twin Twister and I'm playing MST instead. I feel like MST is just a better card for Dinomists. They don't like cards in Graveyard. There are newer cards that are helping with that, like Spider Shark down here, and I'll explain why later. But MST, I feel like for this deck is just better. 3 Wavering Eyes because this card is just nuts in this deck, especially with Dinomist Charge. If you have a Dinomist Charge and Wavering Eyes, you don't lose a single thing. You just get a search essentially and some damage on your opponent. 3 Upstart Goblin. I want to make the deck as consistent as possible, so 37 deck theory is pretty good. 1 limiter removal because all the monsters are machine types except for Luster Pendulum. 3 Dinomist Rush because it's essentially a artifact sanctum for the deck, and it's really good. 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Bottomless. For the extra deck, I'm playing 2 Ignister because I can get it out. 1 Dinoster. Dinoster is really good because it doesn't prevent me from activating any of their pendulum effects, but it prevents my opponent from destroying them in retaliation, for example. So Dinoster Powerful is very useful in this deck. It's very powerful. Huh, punny. 1 Magister Paladin. It's probably the worst Trigo Slayer in general, but he does get me a search, and he can be very useful sometimes as well. So especially for setting up for like Dinoster or something. So Magister is it's okay. Okay, so this card, number 37, Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark, it's just amazing for this deck. For any water deck in general, this card should be a staple. When any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose like 1,000 attack, which again helps with the win condition, if you want to call it that, of lowering your opponent's attack until the end of this turn. So it's not even until the end of the damage step. It's just the end of the turn they lose 1,000 attack. And then when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, so like if he activates his effect and gets like Solemn Strike or something, when he's destroyed by battle or card effect and sends to the graveyard, he can target 1 other monster in the graveyard and special summon it. He has the Monster Reborn effect. So like it's like lose attack. Your opponent has to decide lose attack and more damage on top of that, or like and then or take 1,500 and your opponent doesn't lose any field advantage. So like it's really good. It's really good at really helping what Dinomists do best, and that's keeping board advantage once they get it. So it's just number 37 is really good. 1 Bahamut Shark, and to go with it, Tri-Edge Levia. I felt like Levia was just a little bit more useful than Nightmare Shark, because Levia at least has an effect where it doesn't need to detach Xyz material from. If you don't know what Bahamut Shark does, you can detach an Xyz material from him and special summon 1 rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster from your extra deck. Bahamut can't attack the turn the effect is activated. Like, it's up to you whether or not you want to activate it, but I feel like Levia is a pretty good trade-off for that, because you banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card, which is pretty decent, especially by the fact that like your deck is made to lower attack. So if you can get out a Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark and a Bahamut Shark, and then use Bahamut Shark to summon out Tri-Edge Levia, your opponent's losing some monsters. That's really what's gonna happen. So it's just really good. This is a good 3-card combo right here. 1 Ragnazero, 1, like, again, this deck is going to be built to lower your opponent's attack. Like, if your opponent has monsters that has different attack than they usually do, you can target 1 of them, destroy it, and then draw a card. So Ragnazero just got infinitely better with this deck. 1 Abyss Dweller because it works really well in water decks. 1 Castel because it's just good. 1 Durandal, 2 Shuffle Back Crappy Hands. 1 Volcasaurus. 1 Pleiades because it's actually a little bit easier to get out in this deck because of the Chronomaly engine. 1 Nova. All your monsters except for Luster are machines, so Cyber Dragon Nova is definitely pretty easy to get out. I kind of wish I could play 2 of it. And then the Fusion Barbaroid, just because I really like that. I really like having that play at my disposal, but I had to cut them for room reasons. And then 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity. So thank you guys for watching this deck profile. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a nice day.